In our previous video, we talked about how to do keyword research and how to use Google Keyword Planner to figure out what your potential patients are searching for when it comes to dentistry, and what you should focus your marketing on in order to get the best return on investment and drive the most new patients. Now, if you missed that video, we'll put a link in the description down below. And it's a video that I think every dentist who is serious about driving more patients should watch. Now, in this video, we're gonna build upon that knowledge and we're gonna take a look at a common scenario that most dentists are gonna run into. If your practice is located in or around a big city, so let's say New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Phoenix, etc., do you optimize your website for the general keyword like dentist in New York or dentist in Phoenix? Or do you optimize the website to the suburb that your practice is located in, like Scottsdale or Mesa? And the answer really depends on your city and what people in your city are actually searching for. Sometimes it makes sense to optimize for dentist in Phoenix, and sometimes it actually makes a lot more sense to drill down to the suburb and say dentist in Mesa. And if you get this wrong, you could seriously handicap your website and end up reaching a lot less patients. So let's jump into my computer and take a quick look at how to find the best keywords for your dental website. So let's say that you run a dental practice in Phoenix, but more specifically, your practice is located somewhere in the Mesa area. Do you optimize your website for keywords like dentist in Mesa, or do you optimize your website for keywords like dentist in Phoenix? Now, a lot of you may think, well, of course, if I'm in Mesa, then I'm going to optimize, I'm going to focus on trying to rank better for dentists in Mesa, because people who are searching for that are obviously in my area. They're much more likely to be able to do business with me. If somebody's searching for dentists in Phoenix and they happen to be located here, there's probably very little chance that they're going to drive 40 kilometers to get to my practice, right? However, what I'm going to show you in this video is it's not always that simple. There's actually certain situations where it might make a lot more sense to target dentists in Phoenix, knowing that a good percentage of the people searching are probably going to be too far away from you to ever consider going to your office. It would actually still be more advantageous than to focus on the suburb. So sometimes the suburb makes more sense. Sometimes the greater city or the greater area makes more sense. It all really depends on what people in that area are searching for, what they're typing into Google, and let's dive into how you can figure this out and how you can pick the right keywords to get the best results, drive the most patients, and fill up your schedule. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go to our Keyword Planner tool in Google Ads. Now, if you've missed the video going into how to use Keyword Planner, I'll put a link in the description down below so you can find that there. Highly advise you watch that first. It's going to make a lot more sense what I'm typing into here and what I'm with the data that I'm getting and how I'm using this. So if you haven't seen that video, check that out. But assuming you have seen it, let's go in and take a look at what are people actually searching for in the Phoenix area. So I've narrowed down the search area to, Arizona. And I'm going to look for keywords dentist Phoenix and dentist Mesa. And what we can see here is that there are 6,600 people searching for dentists in Phoenix and only 480 people searching for dentists in Mesa. So which one do we target? Now, we have to keep in mind that if they're searching for dentists in Mesa, they're probably in the Mesa area. And if my practice is in the Mesa area, well, they're a lot more likely to be able to come to my practice, right? And we know that if they search for dentists in Phoenix, Phoenix is a pretty large city. They could be anywhere in Phoenix. And again, assuming the person is over here in this area, it's highly unlikely they're going to make that long of a drive to get to my practice, right? So how do we figure out which one actually makes the most sense to target? So there's two ways that you can get a rough estimate for if you were to target dentists in Phoenix, what percentage of those people who are searching happen to be, in your area and could actually be potential patients. So let's say hypothetically, your practice is located over here.
One thing you could do is, based on past experience, if you look at your patient, records, take a look at how far is someone realistically willing to travel to get to your practice. So if you look at your current patients that you're seeing, generally in your patient management system, you're going to have their address, and you can kind of get a sense for 80-90% of them, how far away are they from your practice. And let's say that you determine that an average person might drive 5 kilometers. Of course, in your cases, I'm sure it's going to show miles. I'm just used to the metric system. So, let's say it's 5 miles or 5 kilometers, and somewhere around this sort of radius, it's pretty realistic that someone's willing to get into their car and come to my practice. It's not saying that someone who is 10 miles or 10 kilometers wouldn't come to my practice, but it's it gets harder and harder. It's exponentially harder the further away that I am. Now, if I visualize this and I think, okay, the average patient might be willing to travel 5 miles within my radius, around my dental office, they'd be willing to make that drive. I can ballpark and say, okay, well, that little circle might represent, I don't know, let's say 15% of the Phoenix area, right? So if there's roughly, I believe, 1.6 million people in Phoenix, maybe 1 in 6, 1 in 5 of those people who are in Phoenix and they're searching for a dentist, they might just happen to be in this area. Now, a slightly more accurate way to estimate this is to actually look at the population numbers and figure out what is the difference between the population of the greater area versus the population of the suburb that you're looking to target. Because again, the population isn't spread evenly. There's going to be some areas of the city that have higher population density than others. So if we take a look here, there are 1.65 million people in Phoenix, but if we take a look at Mesa, Arizona, we can see there's about 511,000 people. So if we take that and we say, okay, well, I have 511,000 people out of a greater, 1.65 million people in the Phoenix area. That means that there's roughly about 31% of people in Phoenix, Arizona, they live in Mesa, Arizona, right? So 31%. So it's actually even higher than 15%. We sort of ballparked that, this represents about 15% of the greater Phoenix area, but in reality, a whole ton of people live in this area. Okay, so now how can we use this information? How do we make the best decision in terms of, should we target dentist in Phoenix or dentist in Mesa? What's going to get us the best results? Well, if we know that, about 30% of people in Phoenix live in Mesa, right? We can estimate that there's a 1 in 3 chance, right? 1 in 4 chance that if they're searching for dentists in Phoenix, they might be located in Mesa, right? Now, if someone's searching for a dentist in Mesa, they're very likely to be located in Mesa, right? They're looking for a dentist in their area. But if we take that 30%, we say, okay, well, there are 6,600 people every month who search for a dentist in Phoenix, right? And we're assuming that maybe only that 31% of them might be in Mesa. That gives me a potential audience of just over 2,000 people that I could reach. Again, most who are searching, they're going to search and they might find my practice, and I might be too far away from them for them to ever consider to make that drive. And that's totally fine, because if 30% of the time they are located in Mesa, I still have a much larger audience that I can go after. So I think you would actually get significantly better results by targeting dentists in Phoenix instead of dentists in Mesa in terms of SEO optimization, which is counterintuitive. And it's not always like this for every city. It really depends on the suburb, and it really depends on how people in that area are searching. So let's take a look at another example where it might be different. Okay, so in this example, we're taking a look at how many people are searching for dental implants Mesa versus dental implants in Phoenix. And we can see that in Phoenix, there are more searches, 880 searches per month. But in Mesa, there are 390 searches per month. So in the previous example, we determined that you're going to reach a lot more people. And even if you discount all the ones who are probably too far away to ever consider coming to your practice, you're still way ahead by focusing on Phoenix. But in this case, it's different, because if we take that same logic and, we get our calculator here, and we say, okay, well, there's 880 people every month searching for dental implants in Phoenix, but we think maybe only 31% of those people might be in our area. That gives us a potential audience of 270 people per month. But I could reach 390 people per month if I optimize my website for dental implants Mesa. And better yet, it's actually even cheaper to advertise. So if I were to pay for ads, the cost to advertise, at least on the high end, is lower, pretty decently lower compared to advertising for dental implants in Phoenix. And I might not care about this too much if I'm focusing on SEO, but remember that if people are willing to throw more money at a certain keyword as far as Google Ads, they're also probably throwing more time and money at SEO as well to try to rank for these words. So in this case, I'd probably want to optimize my website for this keyword, dental implants Mesa. Now keep in mind that your homepage might be optimized for dentist in Phoenix, but on your dental implants landing page, you might want to use the words dental implants in Mesa, or optimize the page to rank really well for this keyword.
I hope you found that video useful. If you did, give it a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this. And you can also check out our website at RevUpDental.com, and you'll find a ton of free guides on dental marketing, webinars, interviews with industry leaders, and more information on how we help dentists drive more new patients. Thanks for watching.